Paterno down in the middle of the happy melee that is swirling in the center of the Sugar Bowl, and now up on the
Down to the wire. Later on today, Detroit at Tampa Bay. The winner of that one comes out with a leg up with 3 games left. They'll be alone in first place in the NFC Central. Green Bay needs to win just to stay 1 game behind. And the weather today, not much of a factor. 35 degrees, a negligible wind, and we have the sun peeking out through the clouds as John Casey kicks this one off. Mitchell and Damon Parker are deep to receive, and this is Mitchell. And he gets it up to the 25-yard line, a 24-yard return. The Green Bay Packers offense ranked 9th in the NFL, led by quarterback Brett Favre, who has gotten healthier, and as he has gotten healthier, so have the Packers. Up front, Mike Wall starting for Ross Verba, McKenzie, Winters, Rivera, and Dotson playing very well. Basil Mitchell gets the start for Dorsey Levens at the running back spot. Henderson, the fullback. Schrader and Freeman are the wide receivers, and Tyrone Davis punches in at tight end. On first down, Favre pitches it back to Mitchell. Mitchell cuts back, and he'll get 8 yards on first down, as the Carolina defense ranked 26th in the NFL. Up front, it's Wiley, Gilbert, Morabito, and Jason Peter making a return after a neck injury. Kevin Green, Dean Wells, and Mike Barrow are the linebackers. And in the secondary, Doug Evans, a former Packer, at one corner, Eric Davis the other, Minter and Alexander are the safeties. And another guy that will see the football a lot today, Damon Parker, 5th-round draft pick out of Oklahoma. Had a great week last week. On second, Favre slips, and now he'll go down, taking a loss. Kevin Green with the sack on the play. That's Green's 9th sack of the year, and it'll be a loss of 2. 3rd and 5, say, for Green Bay.
Hey, that's what we were talking about in the open. Brett Favre, one of the things he's done the last couple of weeks is that he's not trying to force the issue. And earlier in the season, he would have tried to throw that ball down the field, and everybody was covered, and something bad would have happened most likely. But he eats it. He takes the sack, falls down, takes a short yardage gain rather, falls down, and then lives for another down. That's the kind of take what they give you ball that he's been playing.
3rd and 4. Davis motions out of the backfield. Favre dumps it over the middle. This is caught by Schrader. It'll be a first down.
And that's exactly why you take a bad play at one moment so you live for another day, and that's the other day. And Brett Favre talked about that thumb, and one of the things he said was that I got my confidence and I knew my thumb was okay when I was able to convert those 3rd downs last week against Chicago. In the bad weather, in the cold, I knew then that I was okay.
Said he has the confidence to make all the throws now. 1st and 10, Favre checks off. And now he hands off, and Mitchell will lose a yard as the ball comes out. Wiley ends up on it, but they say he was down. Loss of 1 on the play.
You go back to those 3rd down confidence plays by Brett Favre last week. It go late.
2nd and 10. Play action. Favre dumps it outside. It's complete to Freeman up to the 45-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by Kevin Green. Give him 8 on the play.
In addition to having that confidence rate with the thumb being healthy, he's also got the confidence in one guy out there, and that's Antonio Freeman. Antonio Freeman is getting his game back, and I think a lot of that has to do with him being healthy now. He was bothered by that groin injury for a long time. He is the moneymaker. He is the big impact guy they have on the field, the consistency. When he needs to make it happen, when Brett Favre needs to make it happen, you can bet the ball is going right there to that man.
3rd down and 2. Favre with a fake toss, and now dumps it outside to his fullback, Henderson. Henderson past midfield.
Whoa, looked like he fumbled it.
And this will be recovered by Carolina. Eric Davis comes up with it. Boy, it looked to me like the ground shook that ball.
That was a wild fumble. It looked like Henderson was on his way out of bounds, if not out of bounds, and then fumbles it back toward the middle of the field, back in bounds. And those are the plays, the turnovers we talked about at the open, that the Carolina Panthers defense needed.
And they got it, and they have the football.
Not been a dominant team this year in the first drive, first quarter, first half, like they were in the past.
Carolina with good field position, 1st and 10 from their own 46. Patrick Jeffers in motion. Beuerlein looks for Wesley Walsh. Walsh makes a great catch down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 13, brought down by George Kuntz. Look at that Carolina offense, ranked 7th in the NFL. Steve Beuerlein has been red hot the last 3 weeks, except for an occasional mistake, which has been costly. Jones, Campbell, Garcia, Redmond, and Terry up front. Tamunga Biaka-Batuka and William Floyd in the backfield. Muhammad and Jeffers start at receiver, and Wesley Walsh, who just made that last catch, having another all-pro year at tight end. 1st and 10 from the 40 for Carolina. Nobody in the backfield. Packers blitz, and it's out quick and incomplete. Green Bay Packer defense ranked just 21st in the NFL. Up front, it's Holiday, Brown, Dotson, and Von Booker. The linebackers, Jude Waddy, Bernardo Harris, and George Kuntz. And in the secondary, Tyrone Williams at one corner, rookie Mike McKenzie at the other. Darren Sharper and Leroy Butler are the safeties. And that man is the leader of this Packers defense, Leroy Butler. 2nd down and 10. Beuerlein dumps it to Biaka-Batuka, who is open in the middle. Waddy tracks him down, but not until Tamunga gets another 1st down on a 16-yard pickup.
We talked about Beuerlein having that one mistake a game as we look at an injured Packer now. It looks like Tyrone Williams, that one big mistake a game in the passing area. Actually, that McKenzie, the Packers brought in this year, they brought in 3 of them with all the problems they had in the secondary last year.
1st and 10 from the 25. Biaka-Batuka stretches it outside, and he'll get 4 yards. Edwards makes the tackle, but that's our first flag now of the day as the referee throws that one, Ron Blum, and this will be against Carolina.
I thought that Von Booker got held there. He's a defensive end. He's got to make that play.
70 offense, 10 yards, repeat 1st down.
Chris Terry.
Now, Chris Terry's the rookie. He's had his ups and downs this year.
They can see it, too.
Those rookies learn that, too. If you're going to hold inside with your left arm away from that line judge.
Biaka-Batuka spreads out to the bottom of the screen as Muhsin Muhammad goes in motion. Out to Muhammad. And he makes the grab and then is wrestled down near the 30-yard line. Antoine Edwards was there, and they may be going after the young guy.
See a lot of motion, a lot of adjustments by Carolina so far. And that's coming from Gil Haskell. One thing Gil Haskell has done a great job of is getting matchups. And that's what he tries to go for. He wants to see if he can get a linebacker on a wide receiver and get a big linebacker on Wesley Walsh. As we look at Haskell in there. Those are the kind of situations that pierce the defense.
Mike McKenzie has a bruised hip, I'm told, and his return to the game is probable. 2nd and 15. Beuerlein with all kinds of time and now dumps it over late to Patrick Jeffers. Jeffers down to the 7-yard line where Darren Sharper gets him. 23 yards on the play.
Jeffers has come up big in the last couple of weeks for the Panthers. Now, he's a guy that I think you can forget about a lot of times, and not necessarily extremely fast and all that, but he has the ability to get open and he catches everything. And that's the kind of thing that happens.
1st and goal from the 6. Empty backfield. Beuerlein with time throws to the end zone high, incomplete. Looking for Muhammad. Good coverage from Antoine Edwards.
Great coverage by Edwards. Is a good coverage across the board. But I think the key matchup there was Leroy Butler working on Wesley Walsh. Down in this end of the field, watch this. Leroy actually fakes like he's going to blitz, then he picks up. That's a great job there. Beuerlein has no choice but to go backside. In this end of the field, the Carolina Panthers want that guy right there, 85, Wesley Walsh. You know, teams say that and they know that on their computer sheets, but somehow,
still gets it.
As Steve Beuerlein said last night, somehow it's amazing we still get to him.
2nd and goal. Beuerlein to the air again, dumps it underneath. Almost caught and then dropped. Walls almost got it on the bounce. Went through the hands of Anthony Johnson.
If you're a Panther fan, you have to like the aggressiveness of the Panther offense right now. Wall's working outside. Still, he tried to get the ball to him. That ball got tipped coming out, looked like.
Yeah, it was through the hands of Anthony Johnson, the underneath receiver, right there.
That's one of those deals. I don't know if Johnson knew he was the primary or Beuerlein was trying to get back to Walls.
Get it to Walls one way or another, huh? Brings up a 3rd and goal. Steve Beuerlein 4 of 7 on this drive. And now there's a flag down. And they may have run out of time. We'll see. It's against the Panthers.
Ball start, 75 offense, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Ball start on Clarence Jones, and the Packers' red zone defense has been outstanding this year, as you can see.
Yeah, they have. And you know what? Red zone is about attitude. It's about, do you want to get the job done? Do you want to screw it down and cover your man and execute your technique when you need it most to keep the offense out of the end zone?
After the penalty, 3rd and goal from the 11. Beuerlein throws in the end zone. Intercepted. Sharper. There's a flag on the play, but Sharper has an escort heading to the end zone. He cuts back, and now it's a foot race, and Darren Sharper's going to win this race. Touchdown, Packers.
They got a flag down.
101 yards from Darren Sharper.
And the way that flag is, that's in the end zone, and it's against Green Bay.
Well, it was exciting anyway.
It was in there.
54 defense, illegal contact, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
And that was the one big mistake we talk about that Beuerlein makes every game. But I have seen that one, Ray, a lot of times not called. That's a heck of a play or penalty to lose a 101-yard interception for a return for a touchdown off. But those are the kind.
And Carolina gets a fresh set of downs. 1st and goal from the 6, which is what they had previously.
A lot of movement by the Packers defense.
Biakabatuka caught in the backfield from Cledius Hunt. The rookie out of Kentucky State makes a play. That 101-yard return by Sharper would have been an all-time record for the Green Bay Packers. And Sharper has had a tough year in the run game. He's actually played pretty well against the pass. His tackling has hurt him. And when you're the free safety and you don't make the tackle, there's nobody else there.
Yeah. Safe to say that Darren Sharper needed that play.
2nd and goal on the 9th play of the drive, and now the flags come out. And I think Clarence Jones moved early again.
Ball start, 75 offense, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
He did. And 2 false starts. Yet Carolina still 2nd and goal. They go from the 10.
Empty backfield.
And now you have people jumping again. This one will probably be on Billy Lyons for violating or penetrating the neutral zone, and that forced Chris Terry to move. We'll see.
Neutral zone infraction, 98 defense, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Back to the 5, just outside the 5-yard line. 2nd down. They just traded off penalties. Floyd alone in the backfield. Beuerlein. With time, now it breaks down. He throws it outside, and not enough on it. Incomplete. He was looking for Metcalf. Came up with the pressure, and it brings up a 3rd down and goal.
When you played, you guys used to beat those guys up all the time.
Absolutely. Of course, they would push off and hold and do all those sorts of things. Beuerlein rolls to his right. He'll try to run it. He'll come up short of the end zone. Keith McKenzie tracks him down.
You have to ask yourself, if you're on the Carolina Panthers side, what happened to the run? They ran one play there, it got stopped, and then they never went back to it. Clearly, they want to try to pass the ball, and they don't have the confidence in running the ball in this end of the field.
Just 2 runs on that drive, 8 passes. And John Casey now will come on to attempt a 21-yard field goal. From the right hash, the hold is good. The kick is good. And the Carolina Panthers take the early lead here at Lambeau, 3-0 over the Green Bay Packers, as Steve Beuerlein couldn't get it into the end zone. 20-yard field goal from John Casey. The key play in this one was the holding, actually the illegal contact against Jude Waddy that negated a 101-yard interception return by Darren Sharper. And Casey kicks this one to Damon Parker, and Parker elects to go up his own sideline, slides out of bounds. Special teams tackle by Hannibal Navies. And here is the interception that was nullified. And replacing him, it's a 2-headed monster, Basil Mitchell and Damon Parker. And Parker is in the game right now. First and 10 from the 22. Favre from the shotgun. Dumps it over the middle for Freeman. Freeman makes the catch in front of Minter. Picks up a first down, a gain of 12.
You know, Ray, you talked about those injuries, and of course Dorsey Levens not playing today, and Ross Verba, he went to Coach Rhodes this morning and said, I need about 1 more week before I feel 100%. You know, the advantage of that is the Packers really feel like, coming off the last 3 weeks, that they can get by this game without those guys in there. And that's key, because they know they're going to need them for the stretch. But the flip side of that is that the guys in there have to play, and they have to be the ones that make it happen.
And Mike Wall is the guy that's in there for the 3rd straight game for Verba, and he's not able to get his block on that play as Parker is hit by Dean Wells for a loss of 2.
Can't do well, and you're high on that scouting priority list.
Yeah, you're not going to sneak up on him a second time. 2nd down and 13, a loss of 3 on that play by Parker, and he'll take it again on the toss. Tries to stretch it outside, but he can't make it. Roderick Mullen makes the tackle.
That's a great play there by Roderick Mullen. Packers seem to have gotten into a little bit of a lull here, a little funk. I think Carolina keeping them off the field for that long drive, they got to restart now. They got to get the engine going again. Ray Rhodes said, hey, we played well the last couple weeks, but right now it's go time. And my guys got to come into this game with their fist balled up. I think the offense has got to ball that fist up right now.
Brett Favre has had it balled up. He's 4 for 4 for 34 yards on the day. He faces a 3rd down and 15 from his own 29. Out of the shotgun again. Favre throws it to Freeman, and Freeman is close to the first down. Excuse me, that's Corey Bradford making the grab, a gain of 14. He will be just shy of the first. Carolina defense holds for a 2nd consecutive series.
Aguiar, another guy that's been bothered with some injuries. He's had, what's with the groin pulls?
A lot of groins going on. Eric Metcalf is back at his own 15-yard line to return the Aguiar punt. Snap from Davis. High short kick. And Metcalf makes the fair catch at the 20-yard line. No return on a 36-yard punt. And the Panthers will get the ball for the 2nd.
Yeah, they tilted the cheese a little bit after that drive by the offense. Now they got to get it going with the defense on the field. They got them backed up.
Antoine Edwards still in the game for McKenzie at the left corner. Beuerlein goes over that way, but Santana Dotson knocks it down.
Santana Dotson. You know, Santana is starting to get his groove back. Now, he's been bothered by that spinal injury, and it's made him play high. He didn't have the explosiveness in there and the drive that you've seen from him in the past, but he's starting to get that back.
He suffered that stinger in week 2, and it really affected his right arm strength. And they said last week they finally saw him use that right arm again, and he's becoming the Santana of old. 2nd and 10. Beuerlein 0 for his last 4. Goes to the ground with Biaka Batuka. Gilbert Brown makes the play after a gain of 2.
Hey, the first guy you got to get moved down there on that defensive line is 350-pound, give or take a few pounds, Gilbert Brown. But when it gets down to 8-play drive territory, he melts a little bit.
3rd and 8. Beuerlein with time now breaks down. The ball pops out. It's caught by McKenzie, and he's got a touchdown. Santana Dotson hit Beuerlein. Keith McKenzie, the opportunistic one, came up with it. His 2nd touchdown in the last 2 games.
Talks up an interception for a TD.
Longwell turns that 6 into a 7, and the Green Bay Packers do it on defense. They take a 7-3 lead over Carolina as Keith McKenzie finds the end zone. Return by Keith McKenzie, 18 yards into the end zone. And the Packers go up 7-3 here with 1:38 left in the first quarter.
And you know, funny story, McKenzie's dad said, listen, what I want you to do when you're out in the field is get around the ball. Because when you get around the ball, good things happen. Dad knows best.
Dad does. Michael Bates takes it from the 18. Bates has a hole in the middle of the field. There's a flag down now as he gets out to the 38-yard line. A 20-yard return. Tackled by Davis, but it's probably going to come back. And it is.
We just got through.
Illegal block in the back above the waist. 23 of the receiving team. 10 yards. First down.
Anthony
Up on the thing.
That's unofficial. You see the best or the heaviest Lambeau leap in history. 1st and 10, empty backfield. Packers show blitz and bring it. Beuerlein dumps it out to Muhsin Muhammad. Muhammad up to the 21-yard line where Williams runs him out.
And that was a good adjustment there by the offensive line and Steve Beuerlein. Gilbert Brown is breaking people down inside. He's getting all 250. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I cheated him at 100 pounds. 350 inside. You know, I asked him last night about his peanut butter. He said, well, we kind of let the peanut butter rest for a little bit. We're going to come out with something new later on. You know, he had his own peanut butter line there. And the Gilbert burger.
Which I have had, couldn't finish.
He's had a couple too.
2nd down and 4 as Beuerlein changes the play. And now he dumps it off. This is his tight end. Actually, it's Patrick Jeffers, 83, not 85. Jeffers short of the 1st down.
Hey, did you see the way Leroy Butler walked up in there?
Actually, they gave him the 1st down, excuse me.
Yeah. He walked up in there to try to confuse Beuerlein, and he got him to check out of it. And whenever Butler is up there, they are going to check the blitz coverage. And hopefully for them, that means max protect. He drops back out. He becomes another cover guy in the secondary.
First quarter winding down. Beuerlein does not have to snap it. But they do. Beuerlein high for Walls, incomplete. Walls took a shot from Edwards, and he's struggling to get up from the ground.
And the flag went out immediately. I see Bonnie Holiday pointing toward the other side.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 24 defense. Helmet to the head.
Helmet to helmet. And that'll move the chains for the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, and that is the end of the first quarter. The score is Green Bay 7, Carolina 3. And we'll be back with the start of the second shoulder.
Right, sounded helmet to helmet, but it was actually shoulder to helmet.
Jeffers crisscrosses in motion. Beuerlein dumps it off to William Floyd. Floyd has all kinds of room. Up down to the 35-yard line, a gain of 25. But let's go back to that. He had some problems with him in the past.
Earl Thompson got thrown out. Ball's out.
Fumble recovered by the Packers. Jude Waddy's on it. Biaka Batuka couldn't handle the pitch. Second turnover forced by the Green Bay defense.
Yeah, that's called keeping the other team alive.
Favre in the shotgun.
This is the big plays up the field when they get a turnover.
Throws it behind his receiver Freeman. There is a flag down. That's holding against Carolina.
Holding, 56 defense, 5 yards, first down.
But because they don't have the big impact guys around him, he has to become that guy now, and they got to move him around to get him in position.
Parker reverses field and is trapped for a big loss back to the 38-yard line. Right now, let's go to the Fox Network Center for an NFL update. Here's JB.
Ray and Ron, take a look at the Skins finally capitalizing on a nice drive here. Brad Johnson hits the Reverend Irving Fryer, 7-yard touchdown. First TD of the season for Irving Fryer. 14-3 Washington. Back to Ray and Ron, who wears the nice double-breasted suits.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I like your play on words too, JB. Capitalizing, Skins. Very nice.
Somebody needs to capitalize in that NFC East. That's a tight one going down to the wire.
Nobody ever wants to. That's called the division where we keep everybody playing till the end.
Loss of 6 on that last play. 2nd and 16. Favre to the air. And he dumps it off to Parker, and Parker will get 6 of those back, plus 1, a gain of 7. Eric Davis makes the tackle.
Hey, how about that? That's something new. That's a screen.
Mon Parker, after the auspicious debut last week, just 3 carries for minus 12 yards so far today. The slot stems out to the slot on the right. Favre. Over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Bradford. Good coverage by Davis.
One good matchup today. Kevin Green going to work on that right side of Earl Dotson. Now, Kevin Green, here's a guy that they don't bring him anywhere.
Aguiar on to punt for the 2nd time today. Metcalf back at his 10-yard line. Low, short kick. Metcalf lets it bounce and now tries to field it. And the ball is muffed, and now it's a loose football.
That is a muff.
And Green Bay has it on the 3-yard line.
He had the right idea in the first place. That was an ugly punt coming down the nose of the...
That's where Green Bay will go. 1st and goal from the 5. Favre scrambling. Pitches it out of bounds.
Boy, that's a good one there.
That's a smart move. But
that's got to be an intentional grounding.
That he wasn't out of the tight end box, so they're going to call grounding.
That one will be on NFL Films Follies for a long time.
That's as ugly as it gets.
That's the old kill Mississippi flip, and Brett knows it. That's why he's got the smile on his face.
And the penalty, the ball will be marked at the point of the infraction, so it's a 21-yard penalty on the Green Bay Packers. And now it's 2nd and goal from the 26. And this is picked off. Eric Davis. Eric Davis fumbles. And Green Bay gets it. It looks like Mitchell's on it.
You know, this is one of these games where anything and everything will probably happen. That hasn't already happened.
Packers retain possession. 1st and 10 from the 30 of Carolina. Favre on the draw to Mitchell. Mitchell gains 2. Let's go back to that volleyball session.
Great. Oh, that's it.
They'll have to reset.
And then they got another guy moving.
And it's falling apart for Green Bay.
Ray Rhodes just shaking his head.
5 yards. Repeat 2nd down.
Empty backfield. Favre dumps it over the middle. Drops. Dean Wells had the coverage. Freeman dropped the football.
And you saw the way the Panthers there played max zones. They said, okay, we got you backed up. We're going to go ahead and drop everybody. We're going to drop 8 and then keep the rest up on the line of scrimmage and let's just rush 3 people. You know, that confusion in the offense there on that last play, that goes back to what Brett Favre was telling us the other day about he's having to do a lot. Get everybody lined up. you know, make adjustments, and he also has to call protection. If he feels it's blitz time, he's got to communicate that. Usually the offensive line does that. That's just one more thing for him to think about.
On 3rd and 13, Favre to the end zone. Overthrows, incomplete. Looking for Freeman again.
When you don't have an impact guy on the other side of the field, it's too easy to take Antonio Freeman out of the game, I think. And that's why the Packers have moved him around, put him in Z, put him inside where he can get open. But here, there's going to be a double come from right here, right about now. Brett Favre makes the best throw he can make out of the end zone.
Packers elect to punt this one. They bring on Louis Aguiar on a 4th and 13. Rather than try a 50-yard field goal, Aguiar pooches the ball.
Pooched a little too
He over-pooched.
much.
A 33-yard punt for just a net of 13. We'll pooch to commercial. We'll be back in a moment. Beuerlein hands to Beuerlein, and he'll get 5 yards on 1st down, brought down by Antoine Edwards. And coming up here in the Green Bay area.
Empty backfield.
2nd and 4. Beuerlein throws it outside. Muhsin Muhammad picks up the 1st down. Tyrone Williams runs him out. But that's going to be a great game coming up. Detroit and Tampa Bay. And it's for the marble. I mean, the winner is going to have the inside leg up on that NFC
It's
Central.
about 3 guys. On defense, Warren Sapp. He can control the game. He can dominate a game. On offense, it's Mike Allstott. And Sean King's job is not to mess it up. He's going to see some different things this week. You know, you come out, it's kind of like that Damon Parker thing. You come out and have that great game, people scout you. They're going to blitz him. They're going to show him some things he hasn't seen before.
1st down and 10.
Looks like they got Santana unless he was
Movement
pulled.
and flags. We did see Santana Dotson jump. We'll see if it's on him.
False start, 40 offense, 5 yards, repeat 1st down.
And he was drawn offsides, was Dotson. And this is big for Green Bay, too, because with a win today, they're going to be just 1 game behind one of those teams, either Detroit or Tampa Bay. And they, with the schedule coming up, they still feel, and Brett Favre says, I feel good about it, they have a chance to win the division.
That's exactly what he said. He said, you know, I would rather slump in midseason like we did and go on the tear right now than do it the other way around.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Beuerlein setting up the screen. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to Beuerlein.
Screens aren't going to work when you get pressure that fast. And that's been the key, I think, with this offensive line. Booker here. He just pushes Terry back in the backfield.
They put a nice hit on Beuerlein, too.
Jeff was working on the rookie there. Boy, that's nothing on that side. He got nothing across the board. You know, when the Carolina Panthers go that empty backfield, Packers defensive people have been saying we want to make sure we get hits on Steve Beuerlein. He may get the ball out, but we got to make him feel it.
2nd and 15. Beuerlein tries to get outside. And he's forced out by Antoine Edwards, who was playing very well for an injured Mike McKenzie.
Here's another area of the Panthers game that hasn't been there. And Beuerlein, before he had the ankle injury, he had some good games. He started off, went crazy against the Washington Redskins. But he's not 100% on that ankle. It's back somewhere in the low 90s. Beuerlein doesn't have a run game protective, a consistent run game. It's too much throw. And I think we saw that in the 1st quarter down by the goal line.
Beuerlein with just 42 yards last week on 11 carries. 3rd down and 12. Beuerlein to Muhammad, 1st down. Fred Vincent on the coverage, a gain of 13.
Now see, that's when you look at Steve Beuerlein's numbers and you say, wow, he's playing great. Those are the kind of throws. 3rd down. And Muhsin Muhammad had some drops last week. He had 3 drops. He knew coming into this game he had to get his fundamentals back. He had to catch the ball. He's better than that last week.
Muhammad now with 4 catches on the day. He has set a Carolina club record. He has 71 on the year, and he's over 1,000 yards for the season as well. Beuerlein trapped back at the 40-yard line. Vaughn Booker, first one in.
Hey, Von Booker, you're going to play that defensive end position. It's about quicks. Look at that. He almost looked like he was offside.
Yeah,
but you know what he did? Yeah, he moved, but he moved laterally down the line. That's an old trick there. Some of the good ones, LT used to do that quite a bit, coming off that edge. Start moving toward the ball, but don't be offsides. Now you got some momentum going as the play comes.
Von Booker with a couple of plays in this series. Loss of 5 on that, 2nd and 15. Play action. Beuerlein has to pull it back down, and now he throws it out to Walls, who got wide open, and Wesley Walsh gets a first down to the Packer 37. Jude Waddy caught him.
You know, it all starts by formation. They're moving Walls around like you would take your big stud receiver and move him around to keep him from getting doubled and bumped and jammed at the line. Remember he got jammed earlier? There he is. He came from here. He's going to work underneath. Now guys have to chase him. And not only have to chase him, they got to fight through the traffic. Packers just sitting in the zone, and they miss him on the outside. They just forget about it.
Beuerlein had the time to find him. 1st and 10, and Walls moves again. This will be Batuka hitting the backfield, but breaks a tackle and gets it up to the 35 before he's wrestled down. Harrison on that tackle.
Panthers getting beat off the ball. You see Batuka having to make too many moves right when he gets the handoff, and I think that's why he dropped that ball on the pitch earlier. He's too busy worrying about who's in his face right now. Waddy's in there so.
Heck of a 2-yard run. 2nd down and 8. Jeffers in motion, and he doubles back. Beuerlein throws it up to a wide open Walls. He can't get to it. Sharper was there, but Walls had a chance. And how do you lose Wesley Walls again?
I think it's a trade-off. You know that Beuerlein, you get pressure on him, he's going to make some bad throws. So the Packers say,
Lead is now 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers. And the Packers 30.
Here comes the corner blitz.
Ooh, Williams backs out of that blitz. Beuerlein dumps it off to another wide open receiver. This is Jeffers. Jeffers gets a block, and he'll go to the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. 35 yards.
I talked earlier about people forgetting about Patrick Jeffers. And I think with all the drama with Walls, and then you got Muhsin Muhammad who can go deep, they've been working Patrick Jeffers across the middle of the
1-yarder. This one for 35. And Casey makes the extra point, and the Carolina Panthers go up 10-7 on a Steve Beuerlein to Patrick Jeffers touchdown pass. And the Panthers take a 3-point lead here in the second quarter, excuse me. A 10-play, 80-yard drive. Ate up 5 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock.
And the Packers got caught in a blitz there. The safety came down and actually got picked trying to make the play and get to Jeffers.
John Casey kicks a liner. This will be Parker. Devon Parker. A little bit of a seam up to the 28-yard line. Let's go back to the Packers go back to the ground, and here goes Parker. Or Mitchell, excuse me, Mitchell up to the 40-yard line again at 12.
But in spite of the pick on Vincent, this is the block that does it. Donald Hayes, and Donald Hayes probably got the worst of that block, but he did his job. He did what he had to do. That was an ugly block, but it held up Sharper long enough. This guy needs to be on the field more, because the last 2 games he's caught some deep balls for touchdowns.
Play action from Favre on 1st and 10. Dumps it outside to Mitchell, and he'll get up to the 45-yard line. Eric Davis ends up making the tackle.
That's the advantage of having those 2 guys in the game. Now Mitchell, he's the stronger, probably the tougher inside running back. He can pick up blitzes, and that's key. You have to have a guy that can do that. That guy right there, Parker, he's the runner. He's going to be able to break the long ones, but today he's not running anywhere.
Yeah, and Mitchell is the runner today. 4 carries, 22 yards. 2nd down and 5. Mitchell takes it, but he fumbles. Looks like he got it back. Lucky. Roderick Mullen down there struggling for the football. A pair of 28s. I think Basil Mitchell got it back. simultaneous possession, it goes to the offense.
Wait a minute here. You can't speak too soon in this game. Officials don't know what to call. If they're talking about it, Carolina might end up with this one.
It sure looked to me like they both had a claim to it, and if that's the case, it would go to the Packers.
Ball belongs to Green Bay. Dual possession. Both players had equal possession of the ball. Ball belongs to the offense. Third down.
Give me a striped shirt.
You sure you want to go there?
No. I take it back. Okay, Sean Gilbert.
That's Sean Gilbert. Sean Gilbert raked that ball out of there.
So after what you would call drama, the Packers have the football back, and we maybe will have a review here.
But I think if it's dual possession, I don't even think it's dual possession. That's not even close to dual possession. That's Green Bay ball.
It's all Basil Mitchell.
And that would be what Carolina's first review if they're going to review this.
Haven't ever done one.
That the ball was recovered by both players simultaneously.
Boy, this is a case where George Seifert people in the booth, his coaches need to say, wait a minute, coach.
Yeah, you're wasting the timeout.
Don't review that one. We're going to blow a timeout. Yeah. I don't think that's even close, and definitely not visually conclusive as to simultaneous recovery.
Well, maybe George got itchy. He hasn't challenged one all year. Hey, I got to push this buzzer at some point.
George definitely got a little itchy. You know, whether the ball is out before his knee hits is not the question. It was simultaneous recovery, and I think right here, no. Mitchell's got two hands on the ball before Roderick Mullen could get the second hand in.
Boy, and Mitchell was very fortunate. That ball bounced right back into his breadbasket. So Ron Blum will look into the big old viewfinder.
He'll look down the pipe, and 90 seconds to review this. And once again, the thing is, it's got to be clearly, whenever they take off the phone that quick, no.
That might be a record.
That might be the record.
12-second review.
The field stands. It was dual possession by both players. Ball belongs to the offense. Charge Carolina with their second timeout.
If George Seifert was on the fence about replay and challenging, he's definitely across the other side by now. He won't go there anymore unless it's clearly, and that's where your booth has to help you. We showed the replay. That's where they got to say no, don't go for it.
So it cost Carolina their second timeout. They have one left here in the first half, and officially that was a 13-second review, which may just be a record. So to reset, it's 3rd down and 5 now for the Green Bay Packers. They are 1 of 5 on 3rd downs today. Freeman goes in motion. Favre to throw. Dumps it over the middle to a wide open receiver. This is Schrader. Schrader with the first down all the way up to the 34. The Panthers a 26-yard play. Tackled eventually by Doug Evans.
Schrader just a good job of clearing out underneath. Panthers had everybody else corralled up and just sloughed off in that zone. Schrader came open. Schrader's working right there. Look at him, there he goes. See, all the attention went to Antonio Freeman.
1st and 10 from the 30. Packers on the move. Mitchell inside the 25 to the 23-yard line.
Mitchell was joking last week. He got a lot of attention after that game along with Damon Parker. And he had some rather interesting calls come into the complex. Congratulatory calls from a lot of different people. You know how cousins start to come out of the woodwork?
And they want tickets next week, too.
They want a lot of things. Like a new car.
The list is long. 2nd down and 3. And Mitchell goes again close to the first down. Depending on the mark.
If there's any knock on that play by Schrader, You know, he got his yards knowing that they're getting close to the half. Get out of bounds.
Getting close to our 2-minute warning, and Mitchell was just shy of that first down, so it'll be a 3rd down and 1 for the Packers when we come back. And it is the 2-minute warning, and the Carolina Panthers over the Green Bay Packers 10-7 here at Lambeau.
3月には来日公演も決定。カルチャークラブ Don't Mind If I Do 最新ベストも Now on Sale。
大西洋の上で生まれ一度も船を降りなかったピアニストの伝説。海の上のピアニスト。
今度のフィニッシュコア A は喉の痛いところを治している間、新配合のミントがなんとも爽やかな気分にさせてくれる。でそうしているうちにあらという感じで痛みが静まる。これがフィニッシュコア A です。
キャベツ飲んでね。まあ私なりのマナーというか。大人ですな。私なんぞつい駅カフェまで。はい。いえいえ。お若いですな。
一応はキャベツか駅キャベでお大事に。
第54回毎日甲子園ボール。関東大学選手権と関西学生リーグの覇者が学生フットボール日本一をかけ甲子園球場で激突。互いの意地とプライドをかけ冬晴れの甲子園で視力を尽くし戦いを繰り広げる。数々のドラマが聖地甲子園で生まれてきた。果たして今年はどんなドラマが。第54回毎日甲子園ボール12月19日日曜夜7時。少年アメリカンフットボールリーグチェスナットリーグ。ガオラではその中のチャンピオンシップゲーム第12回チェスナットボールの模様をお送りします。日本人プロ選手の登場、ワールドカップ優勝など最近レベルが高くなってきた日本のフットボール界。今から未来のスーパースターを要チェック。放送はご覧の通り。微笑ましく力強く元気に走り回る子供たちの姿、どうぞお見逃しなく。
Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, and Chris will have all the scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
Big 3rd and 1 here.
3rd and less than 1 for the Green Bay Packers. 7th play of the drive. They trail by 3. They flip it outside. And Mitchell is stuck, but he gets the first down. Alexander hit him, but it looks like Basil Mitchell had enough forward progress momentum to get the sticks.
That's where the toughness we talked about has to come in. And Basil had it right there. Big men in space don't work well. And he had Chuck Wiley on skates. Brent Alexander's got to wrap up. Yeah, he comes up, makes a nice hit, but doesn't wrap up.
Well, you see so much of that nowadays.
You're right.
Yeah,
fundamentals.
Guys aren't tackling like they used to. You don't see the arms wrapped.
Especially in the safeties. And I think fundamentally you just don't see a lot of things. A lot of drop passes. You know, guys jumping off sides.
It is a first down.
I think a lot of that has to do with just so much player movement. The coaches don't have time to coach fundamentals like they used to. You're trying to rush to get a system going every year.
And you try to keep guys healthy. You don't have many live tackling drills. So Green Bay keeps this drive alive. They're down at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10. A minute 54 left here in the first half. The Packers with all 3 timeouts. Favre to the end zone. Touchdown. Antonio Freeman. 19 yards on the play. Freeman's 6th touchdown catch of the year.
When you need it the most, what do? You go to the NFL's highest paid wide receiver. And that was a good job by Favre letting him get open. And he wasn't there. He wasn't there on the first click. And then there's absolutely no pressure from the Carolina Panthers.
Ryan Longwell adds the extra point, and the Green Bay Packers retake the lead in a seesaw battle. They're up now 14-10 over the Carolina Panthers.
There's Freeman working in motion there. Gets a nice chuck, but then they forget about it. There's nobody in the deep third of the field, and that's a great catch. Hey, that's the moneymaker. Antonio Freeman is Brett Favre's security blanket. He is really the last link he has that's playing well in this offense. They haven't had the production out of the tight end. That's almost been a dropped issue right now. And Bradford, Schrader, they have the speed on the outside, but that's one-dimensional.
Brett Favre with his 18th touchdown pass of the season. 9 of 14 for 106 on the day. Also has thrown an interception. The Packers have been very effective in the 2-minute offense. So has Carolina, for that matter. But this season, 8 scores in the final 2 minutes for Green Bay.
He says, we feel like in the end of the game, we're fine. Because we're under pressure. We know we got to do it then. So we got to find a way to play the rest of the game like we did in the last 2 minutes.
And that's why they went to that no-huddle offense a few weeks back against Detroit to try and build that sense of urgency.
But one thing to their advantage, when you have that much speed on the field, just between Bradford and Schrader alone, you should be able to create a lot of things at different levels, underneath, midfield, and then get a guy that leaks open late like Freeman did.
Long route kicks it to Bates. Michael Bates is hit, bounces off, and he'll lose yardage in the exchange. Matt Snyder finally gets Bates down. That last drive for Green Bay, 8 plays, 72 yards. Favre was 3 for 3 for 40 yards and a 19-yard touchdown to Antonio Freeman.
And Bates not happy about that last return. And that was clearly a shot out at the he's still going off. That's a shot out at your protection team or your blocking team.
Worried somebody's going to get him killed. First and 10 for Carolina from their own 24. Beuerlein throws it outside to Batuka, who will take it out of bounds with 1:37 left here in the first half.
Look who makes the last tackle here, or the cleanup. That's Mitchell.
Basil Mitchell
That's
along with Matt
double duty
Snyder.
there.
You got a couple of running backs running down on kickoffs.
Ray Rhodes said, hey, look, don't come to me and tell me about you're tired and you need a blow coach and all that. No, I don't want to hear it. Get your young rear end out on the field and let's go.
Nice paraphrasing by you.
Thank you.
2nd and 3. Dumped off to Floyd. Floyd is stuck immediately by George Kuntz. Loss of 2. And the clock continues to run, and Carolina will have to get into a hurry-up mode. They have 1 timeout left. And the Packers actually use a timeout here. Thank you very much. And the 2-minute offense, as I said, very effective for Carolina as well.
This is fundamentals right here. Watch George Kuntz. Watch, he gets low, he drives, he wraps up, now he drives his legs. Or drives his knees,
good
actually.
hip roll, too.
Yeah, he got his hips into it. And people don't realize you don't tackle with your helmet, your shoulder pads, your arms. You tackle with your legs. You explode into the tackle and you drive through. George Kuntz has been through some ups and downs here in Green Bay. Got injured that Super Bowl year, and that's the kind of thing you talk to him, that sticks with you, boy. You never really get that out of your craw. To fight with the team for all the, through some of the down years, and then when the big one finally comes along and you're not a part of it.
That hurts. 3rd down and 4. Panthers trying to answer. Set up the screen to Batuka. He makes the catch, but he'll be tackled by Jude Waddy short of the first down.
One thing the Packers linebackers have is speed. They can get around, they fly around. That's a spillover from Fritz Shermer's defensive coordinating here. He believed in having guys that could run, shoot gaps, get around the football. Second thing is they knew how to blow up that screen. They've seen the screen a lot. Don't forget, West Coast offense, screen-heavy teams. That's what Gil Haskell's trying to do. He's bringing some of that offense here. They know how to defense that.
Packers use their 2nd timeout. They'll have 1 left here with 1:15 to try and get more points on the board.
Another key in that is shutting down the backside. We talked about Wesley Walsh having to put maybe a cornerback on him. Remember, Leroy Butler is a hybrid. You know, he's a cornerback slash safety slash linebacker. You got no place to go with the football there.
Ken Walter on for his first punt of the day. Antoine Edwards back at his 31.
That's a good one.
Good kick. Edwards takes it at the 21.
He can break this first wave. He'll have room.
He can't. A 5-yard return after a 45-yard punt, and Green Bay will have the football at the 26-yard line, looking for more points here in the first half.
I think also Green Bay needs to get back that foot on your throat mentality. It used to be that when they had a team down, especially going in at half, they could go for the juggler and kill you. That was one of the things they did. And they need to get back to that. And Carolina still, they need to be thankful that they're in the game here, and it's only 14-10 with what's going on.
Favre 9 of 14 on the day. Goes from the shotgun. Dumps it over the middle to his fullback Henderson. Henderson will get a first down. Tackled by Dean Wells after a gain of 12.
This is where Favre works his best. Watch the way they communicate. I think he thinks less now. He's not worried about every little adjustment. He's just playing. He's back to his sandlot.
Kevin Green with pressure on Favre. Spins him around. He stays alive. Here goes Brett Favre. Slides in at midfield.
Look at the awareness. He's got to get up and make a decision. He's got to clock it. He's got to get everybody lined up.
Trying to save that timeout for their field goal try if it comes to that. No clock here. Favre's going to go downtown. He's looking for Bradford. It's intercepted. No, dropped. Michael Swift had it and dropped it. Wasn't very swift.
Bradford, he didn't burn you too many times at 7-on-7.
Right. 2nd and 10, 17 seconds left in the first half. Favre dumps it to Henderson again, and Henderson rolls up to the 37-yard line, a gain of 13 there, and Packers will use their final timeout with 8 seconds left here in the first half.
Because he blew some seconds getting that one shotgun play just lined up.
Gets 10 yards. That should be within Longwell's range for a field goal. He takes that shot outside, overthrows Schrader, incomplete. 4 seconds left.
That ball sailed on him. He had it. He had the perfect play to line up and get a field goal. Schrader ran the 7 route, which is the post corner route, and he got in that little dead area behind the corner, but
he was playing way back. And they are back again, are the safeties for Carolina. Should be room for Favre to do something. And he's going to just go to the end zone. Incomplete, dropped again.
Nobody can catch.
Alexander.
There is no catching here today. Bill Murray would say there's no catching in football. Tom Hanks would say there's no catching in football.
スーパーボール観戦モニター大募集。今川浦では第34回スーパーボールを生で観戦し、その感動を全国のフットボールファンに伝えるスーパーボール観戦モニターを募集しています。詳しくはご覧の応募要領を参考にしてください。さあ大混戦の NFL、 最後に笑うのはどのチームか。20世紀最後のスーパーボール、あなたもスタンドで歴史の証人になってください。
Welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, Lambeau Field, where the Green Bay Packers have a 14-10 halftime lead over the Carolina Panthers. Ray Bentley along with Ron Pitts. And Ron, this has been a hard one to get your arms around with the crazy things going on in this game.
Yeah, it's been a hard one for these guys to get their arms around the football, too.
Exactly.
A lot of miscues. We talked about the fundamentals. I think that Carolina is lucky to only be down by 4 right here at the half. And they started off there early. You saw the play there by Beuerlein and then Keith McKenzie getting the love, of course, and jumping up in the stands. Then the miscue on the special teams. They're just taking turns, even when they've had something good happen. Now something bad happens. Eric Davis getting stripped by Basil Mitchell. Nice play by Mitchell. But like I say, they're lucky it's not a lot worse than it is.
Right, you see the sloppiness graphically here. 4 turnovers for Carolina, 2 for Green Bay. The penalty yards 40 and 51. Now the rookie running backs for Green Bay trying to fill some big shoes, those of Dorsey Levens, and they did a great job last week. Not so successful here this week.
Well, Mitchell has been the biggest guy for him, really. Damon Parker's been shut down. I mean, that's just downright ugly for him. But I think that the key is that people know about them now. You know, they're not surprising anybody. And Carolina has come into the game saying, hey, these guys are very accurate. They did a good job. We got to take it out of these 2 rookies, and that's what they did. And
Brett Favre today has been Brett Favre pretty much.
Yeah.
He's got the touchdown pass, but he does some crazy and wild things. He takes too much on his shoulder sometimes.
Well, he came out not doing that, and here's an example just before half here, getting one. But at a moment, I think he does try to force some things, and it hurts him. A couple nice ad-libs. Ultimately, he finds one guy, and that's Antonio Freeman, and that's the interception that they end up getting back.
Didn't hurt him, right? See the quarterback comparisons through the first half. Beuerlein with a slight edge in yards, but both quarterbacks have been relatively solid and sound. It's everyone else who has kind of been bouncing the football around. Halftime statistics we will take a look at. They're coming.
Well, right off the bat, turnovers are going to be the huge thing. You got 4 over here for Carolina, and like I said, they're lucky to have the score where it is for them. But both teams seem to be able to move down the field, and the first downs show you that. And I think this is one of those games where the guy that makes the last mistake is going to be the one hurt for it.
Plenty of mistakes in the first half. Ray Rhodes gets his team ready. The Packers will kick off in the second half, and there is the president of my fan club. I'm happy to see him here today.
I'm glad they said your fan club.
Well, it's your turn next. Believe me, you'll get it.
I'm sure I will.
I will insist. Bates and Lane are back to receive the second half Ryan Longwell kickoff, and I think what you need to do to win this game is clean it up. If you clean your act up here, then you've got a chance.
And somehow Carolina's got to get a run game going. Green Bay, you can see in the later parts of the second half, has no respect at all for the run game. And they can bring extra people up and put them back for the pass.
Bates started at the 2, and Bates is a sprinter, but he gets run down.
He's still going, unless he went out. No, he went out way back.
Yeah, he did step out of bounds back at the 42-yard line.
That's a great run, and Corey Bradford is in pain.
He was banged up a little bit toward the end of the first half.
I don't know if this is the same deal here.
That was a 61-yard return from Michael Bates.
Watch the timing of the blocks here. And Bates got close one time before, but see, look at that wedge. That's what you want. The wedge hit everybody at the right time, and he does a good job on the kicker. He just makes him look like a kicker.
Right there, he stepped out of bounds.
Trying to see where Bradford hurt his hand. You know, and if Bradford can't go, that takes another speed guy out of the game. I think that makes it harder, even more harder, for Brett Favre, and I think he has to rely more on Antonio Freeman to push the ball down the field. And as we said earlier, the tight end for Green Bay is just non-existent, and they lost confidence in that position.
We'll take a break right now. Panthers.
All the problems the Green Bay Packers have had with the secondary in the past year, they're still getting stung back there. They brought 3 corners in to try to fix the problem, and it hasn't gotten better. That guy has got better. Greg Jeffers.
Boy, a 60-yard kickoff return followed by a 38-yard touchdown pass. Beuerlein to Jeffers, and the Panthers go back on top.
Excuse me, Patrick Jeffers.
Striking quick in the second half, and Casey attempts the extra point, and that is good. And the Carolina Panthers shock Green Bay early here in the third. They're up 17-14.
The first thing they do, they move him, and that creates problems in the secondary. Here he is in motion. Now, who's got the coverage out here? He leaks to the back, and they forget about it. For the second play in a row, Patrick Jeffers has been able to sneak somewhere and get open. One time it was underneath, now it's to the outside. A clear bust in coverage by the Packers secondary.
Patrick Jeffers is emerging as the go-to guy in this Carolina offense. Had 100+ yards last week. He's at the 100 mark here today with 4 grabs, 2 touchdowns.
But if you're going to throw, it's got to start with protection. Nice job inside there. Anthony Redmond holding out Santana Dotson. And Jones working on the outside. Those are the kind of big plays the Panthers need to win this game. And the longer they hang around, I think it only spells trouble for the Green Bay Packers.
Patrick Jeffers, picked up in the offseason from Dallas, spent a couple years at Denver, was actually a big soccer player on a travel team growing up through high school. Didn't start playing football until he was a junior in high school.
And you know, they move him around because he has had so much trouble getting off bump and run. He's a good receiver. He can get open and he catches everything. So that was smart to start moving him around, getting him in a position where he doesn't have to fight off bump and run.
Casey kicks this one to Damon Parker, who has trouble handling it, picks it up at the 6. And Parker gets up to the 18, 19-yard line. Anthony Johnson makes a special teams play, a 13-yard return. And that kickoff return by Bates, Bradford gets hurt.
Watch his right knee right there. That looks like a hyperextension. Well, that's one of those that, you know, you hope it's only a hyperextension. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it's weird. Usually a knee will bend the other way when you have a problem.
Yeah, that's a good sign. He's up walking because it went to the outside a little bit. He might have got away with just an extension. Those things can turn into breaks real easy.
Bradford not in the game. The Packers go 1st and 10 from their own 19. Favre throws it outside. He's got Mitchell. Hazel Mitchell, who is a running back by trade, lined up in the slot and looked pretty good as a receiver.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of having someone that can play both things. And that's what you need in this game. When Dorsey's not in here, think about what you miss. You miss a guy that can catch the ball. You miss a guy that's a great runner, that's got the speed to break away, but tough enough to run inside. And you miss a guy that can block for blitz protection.
Donald Driver checks in as the 3rd wide receiver in this set. 1st and 10. Green Bay. They run the draw on a Basil Mitchell, and Mitchell shows some nice running, picks up 6 yards on 1st down. Doug Evans and Mike Barrow eventually make the tackle.
With Bradford out of the game, I think now the Packers have to rely more on their backs. It looked like Mitchell wasn't quite sure where to go. Brett kind of had to stretch for that ball a little bit. You saw the throw to him earlier. They got to be able to throw it to him, and that's part of using and doing what the defense is giving up. Throw to your backs. Throw the check down. Those are easier throws, and a lot of times they pull bad matchups.
Davis in motion on 2nd down and 4. He'll reset. The Packers will go to the ground again. Basil Mitchell picks up a 1st down.
You see the way the Packers do that Y-off motion, and if you're a Packer fan, you got to be wondering, why do they always do that? Couple reasons. Number one, a lot of teams set their blitzes right off of the beginning formation. So wherever the tight end is, that's where they set it. By moving the tight end, they mess up that part of it. Secondly, they set their run strength to one side. So now you're moving them over to the other side. You're running at what is basically their weak run strength with your run strength with your tight end.
Right. Gets the defense out of position a little bit just by alignment. On 1st and 10, Favre tries for the slant, incomplete. Evans had great coverage on Freeman.
I think that's Doug Evans, an old Packer, knowing what he was going to get. He knew with the split, Antonio Freeman wide outside. He's looking at him jump inside, and he's there. That's great coverage. I've seen Brett throw that ball inside and low to try to fit it in there, but the protection. Look at the pass rush. Chuck Wiley. It's amazing he got the ball through there.
I think it was tipped a little bit. The update on Corey Bradford is he banged his knee, so they say, and they don't know if he'll return. This is complete to Schrader outside. He's forced out of bounds by Davis, just shy of the 1st down. Schrader, a Wisconsin native, went to Sheboygan South High School.
Schrader took the wrath of Mike Holmgren
for many years.
He survived that. There was a time, and I'm sure Schrader didn't know if his name was Bill or something else. He got cussed out so much.
Thought his name was something else. 3rd and 1. Favre on the play action, shakes Kevin Green in midfield.
Did you see what he did to Kevin Green?
And Brett Favre picks up the first down. I think Green left some laundry out there.
Like a jock, maybe?
Perhaps.
That's what a 3-time. Look at what he did to Kevin Green. He's laughing about that.
That makes the game fun.
You know, Kevin
I love the
Green.
way Brett Favre plays.
Yeah. I mean, that right there is Brett Favre. That is the fun and the energy and enthusiasm he brings to the game. Perfectly played by Green, but he puts the scoot move on him. He faked him out of a relative's jock. Woo! And then Green tried to trip it.
He tried for the kung fu and couldn't get it. 1st and 10 after the Favre scramble. Parker goes in motion. They set up the screen to Henderson, back the other way, and William Henderson has room in the middle of the field. Lumbers up to the 20-yard line, a gain of 19.
Now Sherman Lewis not only goes off of that famous 15-play script that the Packers have done, but he says, I got 25 plays that I like, and I'm going to make sure I get in. And I think this right here is one of them, the screen. And it's also a part of going back to the old 49er West Coast,
right.
Something that they said he was doing and all that. He said, this is some of the old school stuff that maybe we got away from. That's just the two blocking screen, 2 blocker screen.
And Frank Winters threw an excellent block to Spring Henderson. Here goes Mitchell. He'll get 2 on first down.
I think the Packers proved something to themselves last week. Not only that they could get 2 rookies in the game as we look at Favre's numbers.
3 yards shy of 30,000.
Makes you want to give them a little quick hitch.
Yeah, get that record. Or not the record, the milestone.
The milestone. And not only, getting back to my point, and not only gave them the confidence in 2 rookie running backs, but it showed them that, hey, we can run the ball. We can run the ball without Dorsey Levens. And a lot of people around here didn't believe that was possible. But today they're not getting it done the same way.
4 wide receivers in for Brett Favre on 2nd down and 7. Throws it outside, complete to Freeman. First down, Green Bay.
And see, there you go. There's another part of being back into the old style of the offense. And the old style of the West Coast offense is to create matchups. What in the world is Barrow doing covering Antonio Freeman right here?
It's actually Dante Jones who scoops
Dante
up
Jones. He's got no reason to be on him, man to man. An offensive coordinator starts to drool when he looks down out the press box and sees that. That's why you spread people out. You use motion in an effort to get that.
And Favre eclipses the 30,000-yard mark in his career. And he picks up a couple more on the ground to give the Packers a 1st and goal. Brett Favre becomes the 3rd fastest in the history of the NFL to eclipse the 30,000 yardage mark. And you see all the legendary records of Brett Favre. And there he is, 30,000, and he's not done. Just his 9th year.
The best part about Brett Favre is nobody plays the game and enjoys the game more than he does. And he could be a free safety and would still be a 3-time MVP and a Pro Bowler and all that.
Favre dumps it over the middle of Donald Driver. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Donald Driver, a guy's been inactive for the first 8 games. Seen action in and out, but now with Bradford out of the game, he becomes the guy. But you got to chalk that drive up to Brett Favre. And I think it goes back to the move he put on Kevin Green to keep the drive alive and get the first down.
2nd touchdown pass of the day for Brett Favre, 232 in his career, tying Steve Young for 15th all-time. Longwell converts the extra point, and the Packers go up 21-17.
And you know, that was an impact, big play, MVP player reacting to having to come down and score after the other team scored.
読むは毎日読むは毎日毎日新聞読むは毎日
大西洋の上で生まれ一度も船を降りなかったピアニストの伝説海の上のピアニスト
うわー大きなタラバガニ
大きいでしょう。なんと1尾1キロもあるんです。
1キロなら大きいはずですよね。
はい、以前販売していた 800g のものと比べるとこの差があります。新鮮なまま浜茹でしてあるんです。
大きいから身も太い。うん、美味しい。
焼くと一層美味しいんです。
うん、香ばしい風味。
今日はこの 1kg の北海道産タラバをドーンと2尾セットにしました。そして北海道産ズワイガニもセット。
ズワイガニも大きいですね。
はい、ズワイは以前の 450g から 500g へ増量したんです。それがなんと3尾もつくんです。カニチリも美味しいしカニ雑炊もおすすめ。もちろん焼きガニもいけます。カニ好きにしてもいい出汁が出るんです。
ズワイガニも甘くて美味しい。
大きさでお選びください。タラバは 1kg が2尾、ズワイガニは 500g が3尾揃った増量北海道カニデラックスセット9980円9980円です。2セットは19000円とさらにお値打ち。
0120-666-666日本直販へお申し込みください。
Donald Driver in the touchdown seat. His first career touchdown coming from Brett Favre. Favre hot on that drive, 5 of 6 for 62 yards in the touchdown pass and the big conversion. Actually 2 3rd-and-1 conversions by Favre on the ground as well. Short kick handled by Bates. And Bates takes it up to the 46 and more good field position for the Carolina Panthers. And they have the ball trailing by 4. We'll be back in a moment.
抱き留めてやって、そして肩をポンポンと叩いて、この辺りそらファーブなんかに抱きしめられたら嬉しいでしょうね。
Boxing tonight, the IBF Middleweight Championship is on Fox Sports Net. The champ, Bernard Hopkins, pound for pound, one of the best in the world, battles the #1 ranked contender, Antoine Eccles. Tonight on Fox Sports Net, check your local listings. Got a little bit of a boxing match. Yeah.
Look at those arms. Them are guns, folks.
Bit of a boxing match here going back and forth. The Packers up 21-17. Carolina again with good field position. Flag is out as Floyd catches it for 3 yards over the middle. Bernardo Harris makes the tackle, but there is a flag.
Packers special teams are killing them. They're giving Carolina good field position for a second straight drive, second straight series.
Offside, defense, 71, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Santana Dotson with an early start.
I think if Carolina is going to be up to the task today to beating the Packers, it's going to show on this drive here. It's one thing to go down one time with the great field position right from halftime. Now Green Bay just answered, so now the test is can they answer it back.
1st and 5. Kinchin goes in motion. Biakabatuka takes it off to the left side. He's bottled up. Immediately, Bonnie Holiday was in there.
You can chalk that one up to Bonnie Holiday. Bonnie Holiday held the point. Biakabatuka shucking up again. There's Holiday up top. Clarence Jones is trying to get outside. He never allows leverage. He holds contained, forcing everything back inside. Now his guys can run to the football. I mean, that's what coordinators want, defensive coordinators. They want a cup to surround the offender, the running back. That's what you have to do. And the woes for not only Tim Biakabatuka, but Carolina's run game continue.
Biakabatuka with just 4 yards on 7 carries. Shaken up on that last play.
Another first rounder in the NFL that has never really been able to stay healthy.
2nd down and 10. Fred Lane in the game for Biakabatuka. This is out to Jeffers again, and Jeffers gets another first down for the Carolina Panthers. Right now, we'll head to Los Angeles, the Fox Network Center for an NFL update. Here's JB.
All right, fellas, take a look at Troy Aikman here. He finds David LaFleur, who hooked up and slowed down after reading the coverage at the back of the end zone. It's a touchdown, Cowboys. They're averaging 27 points at home against division opponents. They're at 20 right now. Back to you guys.
Thank you, JB. You see the NFC East standings. Dallas looking good at home with a win today, and Arizona and Washington playing each other. That one's going to be a mad scramble. 1st and 10. Fake reverse. This is Biakabatuka who comes back into the game, fumbles.
He's down.
And they say he's down. Jude Waddy came up with it, but they're going to mark Biakabatuka down at the 40. Tamunga is limping again.
Tamunga's got to get out of the game. He's not healthy. And then you have to know, and a coach has to know, when you're hurting a team trying to be a tough man. Now, he gets bent over.
Well,
I don't know if he was down.
Be interesting to see if
I don't know. Now, here's the one.
The Packers choose to
you see how fast Carolina's getting this play off, or trying to.
And they do. 2nd and 8, and Beuerlein throws the slant inside to Muhammad. Close to a first down. It is a first down. Sharper came up with a big hit, but still Carolina keeps moving it.
Muhsin Muhammad has been their deep threat. Been out a little bit banged up. But Steve Beuerlein has to go to the air with this thing. If he can't get the run going, he's got to go between Muhammad and then Jeffers. And a guy you haven't heard from in a while, actually since the big hit, is Wesley Walsh.
Ball at the 31. 1st and 10 for Carolina. Red Lane. Oh, Booker.
Boy, that was
him up. There's a flag down on the play.
That was one of those Dave Robinson hits. Dave Robinson, Ray Nitschke hits there.
I think Booker went offsides. He tried that lateral move. And hey, if you're going to go offside, you might as well clock somebody.
Go 100%. Mess up 100%.
Offside, 96 defense. 5 yards, repeat first down.
Yeah, that's the old school Packers would have been proud of him on that one. He came down the way.
Yeah, I think old Ray would have liked that one.
Back in the day, like I said, they tackled up by the head. You know, you talk to the old guys, they say, we could be better than the young guys today, and the young guys say, well, which rules are we going to play by? If we play by your rules, you will be better than us.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Beuerlein down the middle.
Oh, that's Kinchin.
That's Kinchin with a catch.
Did he get in? That's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown for Carolina. He rolled in.
What?
Kinchin's 2nd touchdown of the year.
More drama in the Packers secondary.
Carolina answers.
Beuerlein does a nice job of keeping his composure here. Look, they don't hit him coming off the line. Mistake number 1. Number 2, what are the safeties doing? Somebody has coverage back there. You saw Antoine Edwards coming over late, but Sharper's there. Another bust, another miscommunication somewhere.
John Casey makes it 24-21. The Panthers over the Packers as Carolina answers Steve Beuerlein's 3rd touchdown pass of the day. This one to Brian Kinchin. And the Panthers go back up by 3.
込んでタッチダウンと
いうことはですね、今そのキャロライナの選手をなんていうんですか、ジャンプして、で
scoring drive, a 5-play 54-yarder. Carolina again capitalizing on good field position after the kickoff. Mitchell and Parker are back to receive the Casey kick. This will be Damon Parker from the 5. Parker lit up at the 20, forward to the 22, a 17-yard return, and Brett Favre and the Packers will take their shot when we get back.
そうですね、これ時間がいつ終わるかで勝負が決まりますよね。いつ試合が終わるかで、同じペースでもうね、シーソーゲームになって。
And the Carolina Panthers with a 24-21 lead over Green Bay. 4:17 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's been back and forth all day long, and now it's the Packers' turn. They start 1st and 10 from their own 22. Favre 16 of 25 for 193, a couple of touchdowns and 1 interception on the day. Goes outside. He's got his tight end Davis for a first down. Let's go back to that touchdown.
Here's why it's important to bump the tight ends coming up the field. Watch Wesley Walsh. He's going to scream up the field and force the safety to have to lean there. Safety never even looks backside. Because remember, Wesley Walsh is the key threat. That's who I would tell my safety to lean to also. But watch the release. Both of them, free release up the field. You can't do that to your safety. Well, that's called stringing them out the drive.
Right, you can't let one guy free release, let alone
you
two.
let two guys free release. Exactly. Not played well by the front seven. Good awareness by Beuerlein and the offensive staff by the Carolina Panthers.
Flag down. Looks like movement on the Packers. Earl Dotson.
Ball start. 72 offense. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
And here is what Brett Favre has done today. First touchdown pass to Antonio Freeman, a 19-yarder. Then he hooks up with Donald Driver. Driver's first career touchdown, and then Favre is beating him with the feet, too. He shakes Kevin Green and picked up a critical 3rd and 1 on that play. He's in the shotgun now on a 1st and 15 after the penalty. Looking downfield outside, overshoots Freeman.
He's missed that 7 route today a lot. And even though he says the thumb is okay, I don't know if it's 100% enough to be able to have that touch. That's a special throw to be able to drop that ball in there. And did you see how close he got on that shotgun? Usually quarterbacks will get back maybe about 6 yards, something like that. But he got up there close, wanting to make sure he could get the snap, and in case there's a blitz, doesn't want Frankie to get too nervous snapping that ball.
And you mentioned the 7 route, which is one of the toughest throws for a quarterback, is a fake post busting out to the corner.
Absolutely.
And that's a tough throw. 2nd and 15. Favre dumps it on the screen to Basil Mitchell. Mitchell picks up a block, keeps it alive up to the 37, where he'll be 6 yards shy of a first down.
I think Sherman Lewis, the offensive coordinator, is getting a comfort zone with not only the dump passes, the flare passes, but with the screen. The screen was good to him in the first half. He hit it again, and now they're going back to it. This is a huge 3rd and 7. He said the 3rd and 7, that's definitely a pass. I said, when is running okay? 3rd and 5, we think we can make it running, but whenever the defense knows you got to pass, that's tough territory.
Favre out of the gun again, zips it. You talk about a gun. Guns it into Davis for a first down.
That was a shot.
10 yards on the play, and Favre, any doubt about his thumb, was answered right there.
Now, you see the little love he gave him there? That's because Davis dropped the ball last week, and it was almost exact same kind of play. But he knew 3rd and 7, you got to bring the heater, because they're playing zone defense, and there it is. That's a great catch. And that little tap there is saying to Davis, listen, you've had problems, you've had your drops, I need you now. Now that's 1.
Davis switches sides, 1st and 10. Favre takes the snap, play action, throws the comeback, and it's complete to Schrader into Panther territory, all the way down to the 36-yard line. A gain of 18 on the play.
Well, I wish I had a speed gun on Brett's throws right now. And look at him out there laughing.
He's feeling it.
This is what it's all about. You know, here you got a full house stadium. You're coming down. You've had a rough year, but you got a chance for the playoffs. And this guy's laughing and throwing bullets. Because he's into the game. He's a part of the game. He loves the game. And it's all fun. And that's what this is what coaches mean when you got to have fun out there. You're down by 3. He's laughing.
Lamont Hall in at tight end now. Switches over. And Parker takes the handoff. Squirts up into the middle, picks up 3 yards.
Plays over, gentlemen.
Or he's thrown back by Antonio Edwards and Mike Minter.
We were talking about that tight end production being down, and that hurts this offense because the West Coast, the tight end is the guy. You know, if it wasn't Mark Shimura, you know, then you go back to San Francisco and
Brent Jones.
I mean, it's always been that type of player. Keith Jackson for a while here was doing
Nelly.
it.
Oh, that's a different Keith Jackson.
Right.
My bad.
It's all good.
So it's 2nd and 7, probably the final play here in the third quarter. Favre dumps it outside to DeMond Parker and drops it. Incomplete. 12 seconds left in the third.
DeMond Parker can't be dropping that ball like that, especially he's going to wear that number. I kind of like that number.
That's right. That was your number in your glory days here at Lambeau.
Well, actually, it was my dad's number.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I was the other guy. I was 28. I was Mitchell.
Okay.
Yeah, so between those two numbers, I'd like to see these guys do good.
A lot of heritage there.
A lot of heritage. Except when drop ball time comes.
Yeah, then you
disown the number.
You're going to disown the number and everything else that has to do with it. 3rd down and 7. Favre wants to dump him. He's got a lot of room to run. Brett Favre picks up a block, slides in at the 22 for a first down.
He got a huge block by Lamont Hall.
That is the end of the third quarter. The score: the Carolina Panthers 24, the Green Bay Packers 21. We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter after a word from your local Fox station.
Oh, he put a nice dividend in Wells.
1st and 10 Pack. Favre dumps it underneath to Henderson. Henderson's 3rd grab of the day, up to the 15, a gain of 7. Brought down by Dean Wells.
I was sitting in Brett Favre's locker talking to him the other day, and we were talking about all the problems that have started out this year and everything. And he said, you know, a lot of it has been the fact that we don't have the guys we had. You know, you got Brooks retires, and then Chamura's not healthy, and all that kind of stuff. He said, but a lot of it's on me, Ron. A lot of it has been on me. I haven't been very good. Not too many guys are going to fess up like that in a situation like this, when they can easily take the easy way out.
Basil Mitchell picks up the first down to the 10-yard line. Right now for an NFL update, let's go to the Fox Network Center. Here's JB.
Ray and Ron, take a look. Giants looking to go in for the score. Kerry Collins' pass is tipped. Picked out of the air by Marcellus Wiley. Hey, fellas, tell me if he didn't want to go all the way to the end zone. Looks like he got a little tired. Headed to the outside there, out of bounds. Nonetheless, it led to a 2-yard run. Buffalo now on top by 1. Back to Ray and Ron.
You know what, JB? That Buffalo Bill got on his back around the 40 somewhere in there. And in December, that Buffalo weighs a lot more than it did in September.
Got an extra coat on.
An extra coat on.
1st and 10, and this is Mitchell trying to pick his way, and he does up inside the 10 to the 7. There's a flag down on the play. Holding Green Bay. Here's your NFC East standings in action going on today. Washington up good over Arizona. Dallas pounding Philadelphia, and the Giants in a tight one with Buffalo. And things are going to change, but that's going to be a scramble, that division.
That was a good, healthy game for Washington, because they bounced back, or they came and got bounced by Detroit. And you knew that was going to be a tough one for them to win, but Arizona had been on the creep. It looks like their creeping is over for at least this week.
Penalty was holding on Raleigh McKenzie, one of the 3 McKenzies with the Packers. 1st and 20 from the 21. Favre tries to set up the screen, and now he'll be sacked.
He almost got out of that.
He got away from Gilbert, but Kevin Green got him.
Kevin Green finally got a little payback. He didn't go for the popcorn fake either. Said, you got my jock once. I only wear 1 a game. Can't get the next one.
It's the 2nd sack of the day for Green, 10 on the year.
Really, Sean Gilbert has the initial pressure.
It's all right. Green will take it. And so with that sack, Kevin Green becomes just the 3rd player in NFL history to have 10 seasons with 10 or more sacks. That's an unbelievable accomplishment. 158 in his career. Brings up a 2nd and 37. Favre from the gun. Under the gun. Dumps underneath the Driver. And Donald Driver up to the 27. Gain of 12 on the play. Roderick Mullen makes the tackle.
Another young guy having to play on this team. There's rookies all over the defense, and with the injuries, here's another one coming in on the offense.
3rd down and 25, and they have to get all the way down to the 1-yard line for a first down. They are currently in Longwell's field goal range. If they were to kick it now, it'd be a 43-yarder.
Carolina going to their max drop. They only got 3 defensive linemen for the rush, unless they bring a linebacker.
It is just a 3-man rush, and Favre dumps it underneath to Schrader, and Schrader extends it to the 22, a gain of 5. Wells makes the tackle, but Green Bay will have to attempt the field goal.
That's a good defensive call. John Marshall, Panthers defensive coordinator, playing the odds, going to make Brett Favre have to try to fit that ball in there. And then they did what they didn't do last week, tackle after the catch, eliminate the yak, yards after catch.
Longwell, this one from 40 yards. Been very accurate this season. High snap handled by Hasselbeck. Kick is up, and it is good. And we have the first tie in this ball game since it started at 0-0. Green Bay 24, Carolina 24.
初めの0対0以外は同点だったのは初めてということですね。いや、これは面白い。まだまだ終わりません。
11 minutes and 5 seconds left in the contest, all tied up at 24 all. A 14-play scoring drive from Green Bay, and it could have been a touchdown drive except for the Kevin Green 17-yard sack. Bates from his 14. He busted one for 60 earlier. Takes this one out to the 33. And that's where the Carolina Panthers will have the football. We'll be back with more in the fourth quarter from Lambeau in a moment.
ランニングバックもそうなんですけども、基本的にこうマイケル・ベンズの使い方っていうのをもっともっと来シーズンあたりから考えるべきだと思います。
Tonight on Fox, an all-new X-Files, so bizarre and so shocking. After 144 cases, this is the one that should never have been opened. The X-Files, an all-new episode tonight at 7, 6 Central on Fox. Fox rocks. First and 10.
Well, we got a lot of love in this place. I like that.
Floyd in motion, nobody in the backfield. Packers play coverage, is dumped off to Jeffers. Jeffers up past midfield. Hit by Leroy Butler, but not until he gained 20.
You know what Jeffers has become to this offense is the Ed McCaffrey. He's the guy that is not supposedly the #1 wide receiver, but he's a big, strong target, and he catches everything.
6 grabs for 132 yards and a couple of touchdowns today for Patrick Jeffers.
And I think he got the confidence, too. He got the confidence from that last game. He had a little out route, beat Dexter McCleon from the Rams, turned into a big run, and he's been going ever since.
Yeah, with 71 yards on that play. The Panthers have yet to have been stopped here in the second half, and Beuerlein looks for Muhammad, overthrown, incomplete. Tight coverage from Williams. Let's take a look at Patrick Jeffers and his production today, his touchdowns.
And part of it is because they've been moving him around a little bit, working underneath there. And then the other part is having a guy like Wesley Walsh on the field. Wesley Walsh is going to get the best cover guy or a double cover. Somebody else has to get open. That's what you pray for when you're the offensive coordinator, and that's what's been happening.
And you talked about Gil Haskell and his penchant for matchups, and he's matching up nicely with Jeffers.
Yes, he is.
Second and 10. Panthers has done it through the air today, just 9 yards rushing in the game, and they don't even have a back in the backfield. Underneath to Muhammad. Muhammad stopped 5 yards shy of the first down.
You know, it's funny. You saw the empty backfield there. 2 philosophies on that. They go empty. You can sit back and drop and cover it, or you can take a chance and rush a guy and try to get a hit on the quarterback before he gets rid of the ball. Beuerlein said yesterday, I like empty, but sometimes we get a little carried away with it. And I think he means that when he starts taking hits.
Yeah,
that's when we get carried away with it.
Well, if you only have 5 to block, they can send 6, and you're going to get hit. You have to get rid of it in a hurry.
I'm surprised Green Bay hasn't brought 6 more on empty.
They did
Seems
early.
like they haven't done it lately.
Third down and 6. Beuerlein underneath to Walls. Walls with the grab. Walls inside the 20 to the 18, where Sharper gets him down along with Artmore. 26 yards on the play.
You want to know why Walls leads the league right now, basically in the Pro Bowl voting for all tight ends? The guy finds a way to get open. Here he is over here. He's just working up the seam. The coverage is there. And that's a great throw by Beuerlein.
Right.
That ball has to be perfect.
And that's a corner. That's Antoine Edwards.
That's a corner, right. That's what you can't. You have to put a corner or a corner-type personnel on Wesley Walsh.
Into the end zone for Jeffers, overthrown. Again, coverage from Edwards.
I'm still surprised that Leroy Butler hasn't been blitzed more. And the main reason for that is because the Panthers are spreading the Packers out. And because they've got one weapon on the field, and Wesley Walsh, and now the fact that Jeffers is starting to burn them, Emmett Thomas doesn't feel comfortable about putting Leroy Butler in that line of scrimmage. Hey, we need you back to cover.
2nd and 10. Muhammad and Jeffers to the top. Walls split out to the bottom. Fred Lane looks for a lane, doesn't find any. Good defensive play from Billy Lyon.
He didn't find a lane, he found a lion. Billy Lyon's been playing well. He's been using speed, quickness right up top here. Working on Redmond, gets off the block. If there's any knock on Fred Lane, he doesn't see as well as he should. He looked to have something to the outside there.
I don't know if he doesn't see or doesn't care, because I mean, he's 100 miles an hour into the wall, baby. Brings up a 3rd down and 11. Beuerlein to the air again, throws it out for Muhammad, incomplete.
And it's a good thing he got that ball outside, because Antoine Edwards had a nice break on the inside. And you know, that's where Beuerlein threw the interception last week. Right down here on a similar out throw like this. He got a little gun shy.
Beuerlein's 6th career 300-yard game, 3 touchdowns in the mix already, and it didn't convert on that 3rd down, so John Casey comes in to attempt a 37-yarder. He was good earlier from 20. Right down the middle.
Well, he's solid.
And the Carolina Panthers take the lead again. They are up 27-24 over Green Bay.
4点なんていうのは、全然リードしたことにならないですね、今日は。ね。
そうですよね。シーソーゲーム。やはりね、ディフェンスがね、お
互いに。7 lead changes and 1 tie so far in the contest. The Panthers have taken over the lead by 3, 27-24, with 7:48 left in the game here at Lambeau Field. John Casey has it all teed up. Parker and Mitchell back at the 5-yard line, set to return. See the scoring drive for Carolina. Devon Parker from the 8. Breaks one tackle, and now he's got a hole. Devon Parker up to the 48-yard line. A 40-yard return. John Casey had to make the tackle.
Yeah, I think Casey
missed the tackle and is down.
He missed the tackle and he was slow to get up. You don't want to see your kicker limping. No, that's not a good sign. I think this is just a great effort by Parker. And see, Parker's got that stop-start acceleration. You see that right there? That is hard to do. You don't find guys like that very often. They can go from a stop to full speed.
Bates.
But see, remember, Bates has got speed, but he doesn't have that defensive awareness like that to break down and make a tackle, which is tough anyway.
1st and 10 from the 48. Favre dumps it outside. This is Basil Mitchell. Mitchell stuck, but gets it up 5 yards up to the 46 of Carolina. Coming up next, it's time once again to step up to the big wheel. See who are today's contestants. Oh, it's the NFC Central, a matchup that features 2 8-4 teams, and the winner would gain control of that division. Last week, both teams used defense en route to victory. This week, something has to give. It's a battle for the top spot in the division coming up next, except in the Green Bay area, right here on Fox. 2nd and 4. Devon Parker. And Parker gets hit by Barry Minter just shy of the 1st down. Big hit from Minter.
Now, Mike Minter came here as a hitter, and he's had some problems learning the system, getting used to Marshall's new system. But when he comes down the pipe and lines up right, Mike Minter will stone you.
You're going to measure
Smart
this.
guy, too. He runs. He's basically the quarterback back there in that defense. He lines everybody up.
That's as close as it can get right there. One link shy.
And you know what this is? Depending on how Ray Rhodes wants to approach it, and Sherman Lewis, the offensive coordinator, but 2nd and 1, this is perfect waist down territory. 3rd and 1, excuse me.
I think it's almost 4 down territory too, in this kind of game, this kind of field position.
What I mean by that is play action, getting Favre out of the pocket, some kind of roll out and throw is not out of the question here, especially the way he's been. He's in a groove right now on the run. Then again, they might just want to get the first.
Favre with 4 carries, 28 yards on the day, and 3 of his carries have resulted in first downs and make it 4 out of 5.
And that's what they do. They just move the chains.
George Seifert trying for a better view to see where the spot is, but it is a Packer first down.
George,
measure it.
George shot down that rumor about being so involved in the new football movie on any given Sunday.
Yeah, we read an article that had George all involved in that, and he said, no, it was kind of overblown.
Like way overblown.
He said, however, if they want to pay me, I'll take the check. They didn't get it by much, by the nose of the ball. First down, Packers.
That's what you call one link.
He needed 1 link. I think he got 3. So the drive stays alive with 5:55 and counting left here to play in regulation. Packers trailing by 3. Favre, play action to Mitchell. Throws it outside. Caught by Schrader. What a grab as he beats Doug Evans. 22 yards on the hookup.
3 things I saw in that play. Number 1, the play action sold it. That was a great fake by Brett Favre. Watch the fake here. You're a linebacker. I'm biting on that. Okay, number 1. The throw. He comes from the middle of the field, throws a deep comeback. Folks, this is about an 18-yard comeback. You can only do this with speed. He drives Evans, gets him to turn his hips. We keep talking about what Gil Haskell knows about the Packers. Well, the Packers know a little about Doug Evans as well.
First down at the 20. Favre looking to the corner, incomplete. Trying to hit Antonio Freeman. Brent Alexander with tight coverage, and Favre is a little slow getting up.
He took a shot on that one. You can see the game starting. Funny how the game slowly comes back to one guy's hand, and that's Brett Favre.
Well, and that's the hand you wanted.
That's the hand you wanted in. People can say what they want to and be critical, but if you got a trigger guy that can make it happen, you need him. You let him run the show when it gets to that point.
2nd and 10. Favre from the shotgun. Throws it outside, complete to Driver for a first down.
And they're going
goes over 300 yards for the 25th time in his career.
And they're going to work on Evans. Evans going to play off. Whenever you play off, you're going to get the deep outs twice in a row. Look at the cushion. And see, this is what you know from working against a guy in practice. Maybe in 7-on-7 blitz drill when they played together. He knew that Doug liked to play off in this kind of situation, and they're taking advantage of it. See, Evans getting a little closer now.
Donald Driver, who is filling in admirably for an injured Bradford, and has 3 catches for 31 yards as Mitchell takes it inside the 5.
I'll tell you, Ray, it's not great football, though. I mean, it's cold here. You got the place full. It's a tight game. Brett Favre is out there smiling, joking with guys, grabbing linebackers around the back.
It's days like this when I know I have one more play in me. You know, a lot of guys think they have another one in them. I know on a day like this. 8th play of the drive, 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Schrader and Freeman to the bottom. Favre changing up.
That Black 23 Texas. That's from.
Goes into the end zone. Incomplete. There's a flag down, though. Freeman couldn't hang on to it. Evans was all over him.
He checked to that Texas play. That's from the old school, the old West Coast stuff that Sherman Lewis is bringing back.
Pass interference, 33 defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. 1st and goal on the 1-yard line.
1st and goal at the 1 now for Green Bay.
He makes a check at the line of scrimmage. Davis is well covered over there on the outside by Brent Alexander. Look at that fit. Do you know that there's only one person that could catch that ball, has a chance of catching it, and that's Freeman? I think he got the one hopper.
Yeah, it was a one hopper. And I don't know if Green Bay was set after making that audible. I'm not sure they were set on that play.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Matt Snyder comes in at fullback, Henderson behind him. William Henderson, touchdown Green Bay. The Green Bay Packers answer with an 8-play drive. Go back on top here, pending the extra point.
And I think that's the difference between this Green Bay team now and 5 weeks ago. They can answer back. They can go down the field at will like they used to.
2nd touchdown of the season for William Henderson. Longwell makes it 31 Green Bay, 27 Carolina. And this one's going down to the wire. 4 minutes left as William Henderson puts the Packers back on top.
本当に答えられませんね。寒さ全部忘れるでしょ。
残り4分でしょ。
そうです。
おそらくキャロライナがこれまでのペース
We've had 8 lead changes in the ball game. The latest putting the Green Bay Packers up 31-27. 4 minutes left to play.
And you can hear the crowd back into it. And that's what Carolina has been able to keep out of it the entire game.
Well, you see both quarterbacks have been outstanding today. Both going over 300 yards. Beuerlein will get his shot now as Longwell kicks this one to Fred Lane. Lane up to the 36-yard line. Special teams tackle made by Lamont Hall after a 21-yard return. One more reminder for you all. Stay tuned to Fox as our doubleheaders coming up. The Detroit Lions at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both teams 8-4, tied for the lead in the NFC Central. And everyone tuned in, except for those of you in the Green Bay area, can expect to see that battle coming up. And we have a great game here. Well, that's going to be a great game too.
If this game holds true to how it's been, especially the second half, Carolina's going to go down the field scoring. It'll be set up for yet another Brett Favre comeback.
Again, good field position for Carolina, starting at their own 37.
But this is big time now for the Panthers. They've done it all game long. And now when they really need it, can they get it done?
Beuerlein underneath to Muhammad. Muhammad hit by Antoine Edwards. Gain of 3.
And I think anything that works against the Panthers right now, it's the fact that they haven't established a run game. They become predictable from here on, and that's in the passing game. But Green Bay hasn't been able to stop some of the things they're doing passing the football. Jeffers, Walls.
You see both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Beuerlein pumps and now dumps. Fred Lane hangs on to it. He gets lit up by Edwards again. A gain of 2 on the play.
I don't believe Lane held on to that ball. Beuerlein's trying to get the pump fake. to maybe get a slant and go up top. He had nothing. Lane takes a shot here. Well, Antoine Edwards was nice to him.
Coming up,
he kind of gave him a little shoulder push.
6 tackles today for Antoine Edwards, who was playing because early in the ball game, Mike McKenzie went down.
Biggest third down of the game for Carolina.
3rd and 5. Beuerlein dumps over the middle to Jeffers, and Jeffers with extra effort gets the first down.
What an effort.
Jude Waddy got him, but Jeffers showed you some strength as well, breaking that tackle.
Right, because he's got the size. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, but it was good awareness of where the first down marker was. He knew that he had to fight to get around one guy after he caught it, but then he knew he had to just fight forward and pick up the marker.
That brings us to the 2-minute warning. With the score, the Packers 31, the Panthers.
ESPN.
Carolina trailing by 4. They have the ball at their own 48-yard line. And the crowd tries to get into it to help the Packer defense. Empty backfield. Beuerlein out quick to his tight end Walls. Walls in the Packer territory. A 9-yard gain. Leroy Butler makes the play. It'll be 2nd and short.
And this is what the Panthers have been able to do. They've been able to bleed down the field. 3-man rush, no pressure on Beuerlein.
Beuerlein throws it outside. Muhammad makes a great catch and gets out of bounds.
Great awareness. Great awareness by Muhsin Muhammad. It looks like a flag is down.
There is a flag down. It came in at the end of the play.
That is a huge catch.
Face mask, Green Bay.
And now here's the key. Is it a 5 or a 15er?
Face mask, 24 defense, 5 yards, first down.
Edwards
got away with something there. 15 would have been devastating. Watch the catch here. You know, this is why catching is all focus. And Muhsin Muhammad knows he can catch the ball. He dropped last week. And then he gets up. There's a face mask. I think at some point, Emmett Thomas, Packer defensive coordinator, is going to have to take a chance and get some pressure on Beuerlein. He hasn't done it all game long.
Just bringing 3 now. Beuerlein with the pump fake going down the sidelines. Looking for Hayes, incomplete. Good coverage from Fred Vincent.
Oh, they tried to put some jelly on the rookie's back. And that's the guy that could do it. Donald Hayes. See, Vincent's got perfect position. That's called hip pocket position. The ball has got to come and be a perfect throw. It wasn't a perfect throw. It hit Vincent in the helmet. He turns around, locates the ball. Excellent job. That's what they bring in corners for. That's when you go draft a guy. That's what you expect him to do in the big game in December when you need a play.
We'd like to welcome those of you who have just joined us. Green Bay with a 4-point lead, 1:30 left. Beuerlein, incomplete underneath. Leroy Butler makes a defensive play.
That's a drop there. He's got to hold on to that. Fred Lane, he had it.
8 lead changes in this one. Brett Favre having a heck of a day, 302 yards passing. Beuerlein matching him as well with 338 and 3 touchdowns. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 from the 35. Ball caught by Patrick Jeffers. I'd like to welcome those of you joining us from watching the St. Louis-New Orleans game. The Rams win again, 30-14. We've got one coming down to the wire here at Lambeau. The Packers up 31-27, but Carolina hasn't been stopped here in the second half, and they are now facing a critical 4th and 1.
And Brett Favre has been the difference. He's done it all by himself, which is one area, one way that he gets in trouble sometimes, but here he's been on the mark. His thumb is healthy, and he's just been making the throw. Spreading the ball around. Antonio Freeman there, working back across the field to the rookie coming in, Donald Driver. And the big thing about it is that Brett Favre has been having fun. Yeah, he's back to the old Brett Favre for sure right now. If there's been any doubt about it, there's no doubt right now.
And this perhaps the biggest play of the game, as each team with 3 timeouts left, but it is 4th down and 1. Carolina has only 8 yards rushing on the day, or they could use one more right here as Biaka Batuka is back in the backfield. Play action.
You better think about running it.
Beuerlein has Mangum open and he hits it. Excuse me, Walsh. Wesley Walsh with a critical catch inside the 10. Wow. 18 yards he picks up on 4th and 1. What a gutsy call.
Talking about the Iceman there. At one point, he's running. You didn't see anything. You figure, okay, he's got to take off. But it's the same guy that's been killing the Packers all day, and that's Wesley Walsh.
5 catches, 88 yards for Walsh.
And as Steve Beuerlein told us yesterday in the meeting, it's amazing when we get down here. I know we're throwing the Walls. Walls knows we're throwing him. The other team knows we're throwing. Everybody in the stadium knows, but somehow he gets open. That's what a Pro Bowl player does. And that's why he came into this game leading all tight ends in the NFL.
With 10 touchdowns.
And touchdown catches.
Carolina uses their first timeout. They have 2 timeouts left.
That is
Excuse me, 1 timeout left does Carolina.
If that is not a money play, I don't know what is.
First and 8. First and goal from the 8. Beuerlein all kinds of time. He can run. And now he throws it in the end zone. Touchdown Walls.
Guess who? Boy, he had to be awful close to that line of scrimmage, too. How about that one? We talk about Brett Favre. Steve Beuerlein has done it on the other side of the field. He's had his own fun today. He's been accurate. He's been everything we talked about at the Open. We said he had to continue to throw and continue to push the ball down the field, even though he's always had that one bad play. He had it early in the game, and he kept throwing. I think they're talking about trying to replay this. Look at this going on. Tyrone Williams. I think the Packers are trying to call timeout.
Right.
They want to try to review this play.
They want to see
I'm not so sure.
To see if Beuerlein was across the line.
I thought he was close to the line. All right, there's the line right there.
At the 9. 8.5, 9-yard line.
Yeah, call it about the 8.5. He's over.
Yeah,
he's over.
He's over. That's awful
he's over.
Close.
Remember, the ball and the man have to be over that line for him to be called over. He could just step over and have the ball back behind the line of scrimmage and still be okay. It looked as though he was over from there. If there was ever a time to use a challenge and for instant replay to come in, it would be right now for the Green.
If it is reversed, it'll be an illegal forward pass, so the Panthers will still have the football, but they'll be backed up, and they'll still have plenty of time, 58 seconds to score.
After reviewing the play, the ball was snapped from just inside the 9-yard line. The pass was thrown from the 8-yard line.
So the replay saves
the system works.
The Packers for now.
And I think it was key what Tyrone Williams did. Tyrone Williams walked on the other side of the ball before the timeout was even called. And they were trying to push Tyrone Williams back across. And by the time he did that, they had gotten the referee's attention and called timeout.
And there's a conference with the officials. They're in the Packers huddle right now. I'm sure they're getting some help from Green Bay as far as where to spot the football.
Because if Carolina had kicked that ball, that's it. It's like a whole new day now for Carolina.
Illegal forward
Now
pass.
they go backwards.
Pass thrown from beyond the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So not only do they get busted and not get the touchdown, they get busted and get sent back.
5 yards, making it 2nd and goal from the 13 now.
When you get sent back 5 here, you might as well get sent back 55.
Carolina with 1 timeout remaining. Green Bay's defense in the red zone this year has been outstanding. They need it now.
You know you got to put somebody on Wesley Walsh. That's either going to be one of your top corners or Leroy Butler, who is their safety but a very good covering safety, or you think about double teaming him. Now, Patrick Jeffers, who will be at the top of your screen, has been killing him too, and he's working on a rookie. He's up here.
Beuerlein pump fake into the end zone, incomplete, off the hands of Walls, then through Jeffers' hands, and Sharper even had a chance at it.
And that's exactly where he went with the ball. Went with the pump fake, and they went at the rookie. He's trying to pull the backer and the safety out of that window right there. That's what the pump fake is for. I don't know if he's throwing at Walls or Jeffers.
They're both there at different levels.
Yeah, he's trying to throw that ball to Walls. That ball went through Walls' hand.
Makes it 3rd down and goal from the 13. Anthony Johnson in motion. Beuerlein with time unloads outside, complete to Walls. Walls tackled at the 5-yard line. Fred Vincent over there, a gain of 8, and it'll be
He's
4th
going to burn one.
in goal.
No, he's not.
He's got 1 left.
He looked at
I think he has to take a timeout.
Well, he's got to do something here. They're burning time off the clock.
And I think he's going to eliminate the possibility of Green Bay having a chance. I don't know why you do this. It's a 4th down play. It's do or die anyway. So take all the time off the clock and take your 1 shot. Because they can't get a 1st down. It's the score on this play or take it home. And Beuerlein uses the final Panther timeout. He'll talk about it, and it'll come down to this play. 4th and goal from just outside the 5-yard line.
You know, when the Packers sat down Dorsey Levens and they sat down Verba today, and they didn't envision that they would have to struggle this much without those guys to get the win. This is your coaching nightmare here.
Well, he's going to need to play well on this down. The game comes down to this. 4th and goal from the 5. You care to first guess on what they're going to do?
They had success on the rollout. Getting him out of the pocket, give him more than 1 option. He's in that huddle a long, long time.
What about for the Packers? Do you bring the heat?
They haven't brought it all game. You would be gambling if you did it.
3 wide receivers in the set. Floyd goes in motion. Beuerlein, quarterback draw.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Wow.
Carolina wins it.
Wow, and the game is over. They spread them out, they went empty, and Beuerlein ran it.
It's the last thing you'd ever expect.
That is a huge,
what a call.
Huge blow to the Green Bay Packers. In spite of the replay and the change in the call, the Panthers fight back and get a huge win in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nobody in the backfield. He's got no protection to throw. He's got to throw it quick, and they all sifted back. And you were talking about the blitz. A blitz would have smacked him right in the face.
And Artmore comes up and makes the hit, but he hits Beuerlein low, and he goes over the top for the winning touchdown. And silence has fallen over the crowd here at Lambeau Field as the Carolina Panthers. Now we have a penalty now. I think it's excessive celebration after the fact of the touchdown. In NFL rules, you have to attempt the extra point unless it's an overtime situation, which this is not. So they have to kick the extra point to finish this ball game. Even with no time
in
left.
a regular season game, right. And boy, if you're Green Bay, I mean,
what a way to go down.
Right. This is like being asked to carry the guy who beat you's trophy home for him.
And of course,
I think they're waiting for the kicking ball.
You have to get the kicking ball, which
that's amazing.
Somewhat controversial at times, at least to the kickers.
I look at two guys in this Carolina offense today that were just outstanding. Not only Steve Beuerlein coming back from the big interception he threw in the first half, but Wesley Walsh. Wesley Walsh continues to make plays even though people are all around him.
And they're not even going to attempt to kick. They're just going to kneel the football, and they do. And the game is now officially over. And the final score, Carolina Panthers 33, the Green Bay Packers 31. And we'll take a break, and we'll be back with more in a moment.